everyone, and welcome back. We're back again. Storm here.
Mom here.
Kimmy here.
We're finally going to be watching Shang-Chi. We are very excited. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Oh,
it's a big title.
That's right.
The Legend of the Ten Rings. What does that even mean?
And they're not 10 rings on your finger either.
Maybe?
No.
I mean, we do see a picture on Disney Plus right now, and it looks like there's rings on his
Magic
forearms.
powers. Yeah. Must be extra powers or
That's
something.
right.
I hope they're LED, because that's pretty cool.
Dancing.
So we love the Marvel Universe, and we're excited to get into another movie. We enjoyed Black Widow, a ton of movies, but that was like the most recent one that we saw.
Great.
Yeah, and so it's a new hero, it looks like, and I'm curious on what his backstory is. I'm sure he was in the comic books, and many fans of that are probably really excited about this movie, and I'm sure it's going to live up to the name. And I think we should just get into this.
Okay.
We're all blind to it.
Absolutely. All blind. Don't know anything about this.
Yeah. So I heard rumors that Aquafina is in this from Raya. We love Raya and the Last Dragon. And that Simu Liu is the main character.
Okay.
I hope that I'm saying the names correctly, but I'm sure you guys will let us know. And we really try to listen to you guys, and you guys have seen, I think you've probably seen commercials.
Yes,
For this,
I've seen.
most likely.
Yes,
Like I've seen
advertised, yeah.
a couple here and there, but you might have seen interviews or something with his name drop.
I
or
saw
something.
him on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah,
He was recently on that.
that's cool. And he's on TikTok and a lot of social medias, I've noticed too. Like he just pops up on there, and very popular. So shall we get into this movie?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Like no one can come.
Both sides.
The trap. Wow, he just worries
Oh,
about himself.
No way.
Okay. Ooh.
That's awesome. It's like airbending.
Yeah. There. She has some.
Got them all now.
She's just letting him know at any time I can take him from
Yeah.
you. Pretty.
It's a nice car.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, please.
Hello, sir. Welcome to the fair.
I'm trying.
Hey.
I'll go slow.
Oh, you should go
Ah,
slow.
no.
Yes, okay, sure.
Between us and start screaming the lyrics to Hotel California.
What? It's the art of confusion. Works great on stupid people. Yeah, we can be responsible. We can do that.
We're gonna go
Or
Or
Oh, here's it.
karaoke.
Yeah, God.
come on, bro.
Oh,
it
my
hurt.
gosh. Oh.
Uh-oh, it's gonna come out of him.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
You can fight.
He can.
It's your boy Clev coming at you live on the bus.
Video of it.
That's a really live it. I
He'll
love
be
it.
famous by the end of the day.
You got this, bro.
That's cool. Ooh, look at that. Ooh.
No
Oh,
way!
My bad.
God.
Oh, my bad. It's like a hot knife.
Oh.
What is up with this guy?
Watch out.
Oh, what the? Whoa.
Oh no!
Oh, that.
Oh my god, cut it all in
goodness, now
half.
it's gonna split in half.
Oh, boy.
Okay, let me in.
Open the door, please.
Open the
door,
door. Good reaction.
Oh my grandma.
Except this guy.
He's still taking that guy. Just leave him.
Oh, that
Oh
pretty
my
car.
God. Oh
Oh,
my gosh.
Red.
Whoa. Oh my God.
You can explain on the plane.
Yeah, she's
She's
going
going
to.
again.
You can
Yeah.
explain on the plane, Sean.
Good story.
From sunup to sundown, I was taught every possible way to kill a man.
Ow.
If he asked me to burn the world down, I would have asked him.
Beef or vegetarian?
Snap.
Roll out of the chicken. So
You changed your name from Shang to Sean.
Yeah, it's perfect. So we could pronounce it.
Hi, my name's Gina. I'm gonna go into hiding. My new name's Gina.
Bus boy. 我靠，你3天就200
Oh no, that got recorded.
Best boy.
Oh my God.
Okay, let's get you ready to fight. Wait,
Oh my God.
well, multi-player.
Oh, cool. It's Wong. Yeah.
It is.
He's in that?
What is he doing over there?
Oh.
I would never do that to you. She's drinking.
To my
And now she's
drink.
drinking.
Where did you get all that money?
Oh, put in your fanny pack.
Did you bet against me?
No.
He's just a fanny pack and everything.
No, she's a,
Come on.
Go. Just
I
do
know I'd be
it.
the same way.
look at her, huh?
The heights.
What in the how is he gonna do this?
Epic
Oh
battle.
my goodness. Oh my god.
Oh no!
On a
dark desert highway. Cool wind in my hair.
Come on, someone save
Hopefully
her.
her sister. His sister.
Oh, you're good. The background.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I hate the eye. It's always the eye.
Eyes, I'd be too. Yeah.
Ooh, good. Good.
My deed. Question.
It's the mandarin.
Right now, we really just need to find a way to.
What the hell? Oh! What is that? Oh! I can see you. You're real.
There's no head.
Trying to both of us.
Hallucinating him. 90% confident he can guide us through safely.
90%.
19%.
Okay. Crap. The odds.
I've done. Oh my god.
Taser face. Razor fist.
Oh my god.
Literal.
Jeez.
Access approved.
It's a fast door. It's like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Hard right. On 3.
What?
Hard right.
Hard right where?
Wait.
Now.
Trust them.
Come home for me.
Oh.
No, it's closing. Whoop. Just before.
It's kind of like long.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I was saying.
So excited, but
Dance. It totally feels like airbending, you know? Just. Oh! Takes them all out.
oh my god.
Now he has to see this too.
Holy crap! Ooh!
Oh, wait. Okay.
Touch me.
Ooh!
Right in
Oh, yeah.
It's like Kill Bill.
Oh, yeah.
Sucks. Come on, father against son.
Thanks.
Really?
Come on.
So he doesn't even need the rings.
Wow.
Ooh, got the other guy.
Oh,
Ooh, doesn't do anything.
oh, look at that. Ooh.
We should work together.
No.
Release them!
Thought.
Yeah.
Release them!
Ooh. Ooh, it's like a water dragon.
Yeah.
Cool.
He's riding it.
Yeah, nice. You know, all that.
Nice snack.
Yeah.
She's like, you're awesome.
And there's more.
Yeah, look at them all.
Good.
Nice.
Yeah.
They can go.
And the lion can also kill it.
Yeah, that's great.
See? Haha, I learned a lot. He's like, that's familiar.
I'm not dead, it's just a performance. Now get down here, play along.
Okay. Follow.
Look at that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are they mine now? Whoa!
Oh, no.
Like Lord of the Rings.
Like a toy.
Ooh, yeah, but it's gonna take his soul.
It's taking all the power.
How much? Ooh, thank you, dragon. Don't die. Yeah. Jump. Woohoo.
Aim for the throat.
No!
No!
Oh, no.
Quick, get him! No!
No!
It's taking his life.
Oh my gosh, no.
Aim true. Woo! Is that Katie? Yeah!
Good for you, Katie.
Rip. Bye.
That's all, folks.
Changing the water.
Yeah.
Awesome dragon.
I seriously thought we were gonna die. And I had only learned how to shoot a bow like a day earlier. And now I'm on a battlefield killing all these soul suckers with just take the shot, you little mooch. And so I aimed right for the sucker's throat and I let her fly.
She hit it dead on. We made it.
We made it.
I really meant what I said, and in fact, I actually think this whole thing you're doing just further proves
Behind
you
you.
guys are obviously.
Turn around.
What?
Good. Let's go. We have a lot to talk about. You too.
Take the drink.
I'm gonna take the drink.
Oh.
Bye. Yeah, look at her now. She's
Like, what just happened?
so bad.
A beacon.
Uh-oh.
They're sending a message.
A message to where?
Get some rest.
Or
Oh, my God.
California. That was hilarious. What a way to end it.
That's like, that's good. Yeah,
I love the humor.
yeah, that was good.
That was so funny.
That's fine.
Or
Or,
it's like so serious and then so lighthearted too.
that's right. My God.
Very playful.
And you're always welcome in, but you can never get out. So
That's
they're
right,
always
yeah.
stuck in there
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
They can't get
that's
out.
right.
They can't have their regular lives. You know,
That's
they're
right.
not going to go back to valeting anytime soon.
That's a
Yeah, I guess
huge
so,
responsibility that they have now. I mean, from one thing,
Okay.
I get it too. You get so comfortable in a normal, simple lifestyle, you know, and it's not the best. I mean, most parents want more for their children, but I get it. Like, routine takes over, you know,
You're comfortable,
routine,
yeah, you just
bills,
don't
and you
wanna-
just get caught up. And, you know, so something so normal, and now they're, you know, completely changed
Thrust
with
into
this.
that.
I mean, like, here Sean was holding all this back. Like, he ran away from his life, understandably why, but, like, he hid his identity from his best friend. Like, no one knew who
Right,
he
for
was.
10 years.
Yeah,
I mean,
years.
he's been
She said
close
she
to
knew
him.
half her life. She said.
Yeah.
Yeah, she knew him for half their lives, and
right.
that's a long time. I mean, how long was it now? It was quite a few years that she's at least known him, and they're very, very close. And for her to not even know that, like, that's such a huge secret.
That's right. My gosh. Yeah.
And even though we
Wow,
were
that's
seeing
secret.
flashbacks, I was thinking that with him, like, defending himself on the bus, I was like, is it just instincts? Is it the necklace that's giving him this power and knowledge to fight, kind of like from his mother's side or something? But no, like, he was actually trained, which we saw after that. Like,
Yeah.
he was trained
Yeah,
by his
right.
father.
Right.
Definitely
Started off
was.
at 7, and then he did his first hit job at 14. So
That's right.
he was quite skilled. And we just saw him in his apartment just, you know, working out. So we had no idea. I mean, that
that
fight
was
scene
really
on the bus
surprising.
was hilarious.
Yeah.
To see him call the bus boy now.
Yeah, and it really just threw us off because here, like, yeah, he's working out, but then he has this, like, normal job,
Right.
and
Yeah.
he's
You don't
goofing
even
off with his
expect.
friends, and they're partying and karaoke, and, you know, so I just wasn't sure. I didn't think that was the thing, but how cool is it that he knew it? Like, he was trained in that.
Oh, yeah.
He kept it secret, and what a terrible past, too. I mean,
That's horrible.
everyone in his family, his father included, loved their mom. Like, he loved his wife, and it's a tragic story because but not just him, this evil entity, like, took him over, like, you know, connected with him, knew that was his calling card to get out of there, and used that to its benefit.
That's
And
right.
drove
Yeah,
him
definitely,
to
yeah.
darkness, to obsession, to save his wife, you know, like, it was just a very sad
yeah,
story
that-
to
and
hurt
that-
your kids over
It's
it.
amazing how he really believed it. It was her, and to draw him to that conclusion to, you know, take down her entire village
Oh,
to
yeah.
save his wife that she left just for him, you know, and just to think that, you know, she's definitely alive. And then to go back and say to Shang that, you know, you could have done something about it. why didn't you
that
do
was
anything
how it
about
was,
that to
young
begin with?
boy.
You know, you let your mother die.
That's right. Young boy.
He's
yeah.
always blaming
Come on.
other people. He's just so full
He's
of
right.
hate, but also dread, and he's just so consumed by it that
And
it's
blaming
everyone
someone
else's
else,
fault.
he actually feels bad that he wasn't
Feels so
there.
guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And it's terrible. I'm like, these are your kids, and to go that far. I mean, he was a tyrant before that. I mean, the way the movie even started,
yes.
Sure,
he used
definitely,
power for everything. He was greedy,
Right.
and
That's
he
all,
just
he
took
wanted the
over.
power, and that's it.
Yeah, and she was his light side. She brought the good out of him,
She sure did.
and he found love in that way. But once she was lost, like, that's a sad story. It's a good story
That's
too.
It is
I
a
mean,
good story. I
yes.
mean, once she died, he went back to the rings, and
that was what he knew.
that was,
Yeah.
And
And it
he
teaches
just didn't
son
want
that.
anything to do with his kids, you know. He just, just treated, Shang like, okay, you're going to be the assassin that, that's what you're going to be destined for. And his daughter just pretty much, he just didn't want to look at her because she reminded him
It was very
so
selfish.
much of his wife.
Very
Yeah,
selfish reasons why
that's
he
right,
was doing that,
Her daughter, yeah.
Very different kind of story. I mean, we do hear dark past with heroes, and this one, like someone so close like your own dad, and
Yeah,
he manipulates you. He has that much power to do so. Like, your own kids ran away, and then the only way you can bring them back, because they're so skilled too, is to force them and almost kill them. And he's like, oh, well, I'm glad, that they proved me right where they couldn't kill you. I'm like, oh, because there was a good chance. There was a chance there. So for him to even go that far to try to force him to go back is awful. And even the jokes. I love Katie. She was freaking hilarious. But to break the ice with it every
She
time.
was awesome.
And to be like, is your dad going to kill us? Like, just don't look at him, just nod when you're spoken to, and that's it. So, just to bring in that lightheartedness too, where, it would kind of make us laugh instead of like,
Oh,
this is so
yeah.
dreadful.
Even when they stole the car, I mean, all those funny
my
scenes.
God.
Right from the
with
beginning, that
her,
was
when they're on the
hilarious.
scaffolding and, they're trying to
Wow.
escape. And she was so great.
Yeah.
And it was a great surprise to see the Mandarin.
Oh, that's
Yes,
right,
it was. He
It's
was
been a
so
while.
funny.
My gosh,
Oh
it was
my
quite
God.
good.
And his
He was
little
great.
sidekick.
In Iron Man 3, he was awesome. I love his
Yes.
sidekick too. And to have him back, like, that was a fun surprise to see. And he's such a goofy character.
He
Like,
is, my God.
He is. And
Just
I'm
to be
so glad
there.
he was just fake dying.
Yeah, I gotta say the sidekick
acting.
was really upset.
I know,
about
because I
that.
was like, why was he there anyways? Because they're telling Katie it's not safe, even though she was training for only one day. But still, like, here, the Mandarin, he's not doing anything. He's just with his friend. So unless they could do some kind of power up together.
He just wanted to be theatrical.
So I'm glad he
Yeah.
survived that. I was like, oh, why are you even here?
Oh my God.
But I am glad that he did survive, and he was funny, and he was the key, pretty much getting.
He
into that
was.
with
I
his friend.
mean, yeah, he was the liaison. He knew what his little creature friend was saying to the gang. Take a a hard left. This,
That's why I was
how to get there. I
crazy.
mean, he
Wow.
was instrumental.
Yeah, and here we go, another cutscene.
They're waiting.
Oh, okay, he's there too now. They're waiting. She brought her whole establishment to her father's.
Yep, I guess so.
It's really nice.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Yeah.
The 10 rings will return.
Oh, jeez.
That was actually really neat, but it makes me nervous too because
Looks a little edgier, dark side of
Yes,
her.
I mean, they got along well at the end, but now maybe she won't be a bad guy, but maybe she'll have problems now and again with her brother.
That's very nice.
I don't know, because she might be power hungry too. Like, she wanted to show that she's independent from her father because he didn't pay mind to her, and she could also build herself up and be powerful like she did before.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
now
yeah.
even more so.
Yeah, and she took over his spot. She got her
Sure
spot.
did.
Yeah, and Shang-Chi thinks that she was closing up shop there, right? That's what he
Yes.
said.
Yeah, right.
So,
Guess not.
Oh boy.
so that'll be fun to see what happens there. But I don't like them fighting. But here, like, they had so many issues from their childhood, like,
Yeah, sure.
I hope they'll be all right. But yeah, so I think it was
They
a good
left in
movie.
I think it was a great movie,
did
and
too.
it looked like they were really close at the end. So it doesn't seem
Yeah,
like she's
and I
going to
loved
be.
the aunt. She was really
Oh,
good.
the aunt was
Yeah,
good.
she was
Yes.
great.
She
You
took
know,
them right in.
she looks so familiar to me, and I feel so bad if we've seen her on the channel, because I'm like, I've seen her somewhere. I know her from somewhere. So you guys are going to tell me, and I'm going to be like, duh! So anyways, she was amazing,
she
and
was.
I'm glad she was there. She was almost like the mediator between
Yes.
both
That's right,
worlds,
yes.
you know,
Right.
coming out everyone else there was so defensive when they came through.
Yes.
But she was able to talk to them. And I'm so happy that Shang-Chi and his sister didn't believe the father. I mean, yes, they had a bad rapport with him anyways, but, you know, he's talking about the mother, like, oh, she's alive, and her village is keeping her prisoner. Like, they love their mom, too. So I was thinking that maybe they would be persuaded by him, but they weren't. Like, they're like,
they
oh,
weren't, because, you know, their mom is half of them, you know, and they want their father to not do anything to their relatives. There's relatives in
I know, because
Right,
once he
definitely,
said,
yeah.
because he didn't say that at first, but once he said, I'm going to burn their village down, so...
And the kids know there's got to be family there.
Yeah, because Cheng asked the right question. He was like, well, what are you going to do if you can't get her or whatever?
Yeah,
He's like, I'm going to burn the place down. So right away, that's a huge red flag. I mean, you're going to kill a bunch of people. Like, you don't even know. Like, they've never met the villagers before. And it's a perfect story, too, because they didn't, or they refused or something, like he couldn't marry her because he wasn't worthy enough, and they wouldn't allow them to go back, you know, if she married him.
Right, so she left everything for him.
Yeah, and that means something, too.
And that's
that
why
she still married him.
and it makes sense that he would think that they would take her back because he's the one that, you know, they think took her away from them. So it was a perfect, you know, story that he would believe that you know, they have her captive.
So yeah, I'm glad that his children had a different view, and you know, it was sad to see them go against each other. But I need to talk about the fantasy world too. That was really cool. So it was a different world portal that, you know, they had to go through Earth, and it was so cool with the maze and everything too. Like, how original of an idea.
Oh, it was a great
Stay in the
idea. Stay in the pocket.
It's very dangerous. Like, it's a fun, like, adventure to go on, exciting and scary. But I really like that idea. And I think that this fantasy world was based heavily off of, or influenced off of, anime. And Mom doesn't watch anime. You've seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, but that is an American cartoon.
Okay, yeah.
You know, and I think they did a really good job. And that fox that they showed with the tails,
yes,
I love that.
I never saw Naruto, but I think it's off of that or something. It's another anime. It's a popular anime. Okay. And I think there's an orange fox or something, because I've seen that on social media before with a bunch of tails, and then just the dragons and the different
the water
fantasy creatures.
amazing.
The water dragon was cool, but I've seen like the horse dragons. Like, that was so bizarre and
I like
different.
the lion too. The great.
The lion, and that resembled the
Narnia.
statues.
Oh yeah.
Right? And we saw two different ones. I like how they're different colors too. You have like a white one and a brownish one, and there was two where usually I would think when you see those statues, usually there's one on each side, right? So you have like two there as well. So I don't know if that was the thing.
And they can gobble up the flying little dragons.
That's good that they didn't just keep like coming back.
Yes.
They didn't need just a dragon scale magic or whatever to destroy them. Yeah, so I love the idea of the world and even the fighting techniques. Like, we had so many cool fighting scenes.
I loved between the mom and the dad. That was great.
It was very elegant. It reminded me a lot of airbending. I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. I can't help it. But it really did remind me of that, and how like she would evade and the circular motions, and it became more of a dance.
Yes.
That's right.
Like, that was pretty incredible, beautifully done, and just floating a bit and being able to manipulate the air around her,
So
and even her
graceful.
sister was able to do that too. You know, and I love that kind of story where, like, he wanted more and more power until he was challenged by an equal, and they fell in love. And
yes, he was very impressed. When he fell in the water, he's like,
That's right.
and the landscapes, the special effects, gorgeous. Like, the colors were more vibrant.
Yes,
that made me think of anime too, where you just have these vibrant colors and just how everything's like laid out for you. It's just like a perfect composition every time you would see it. And the lighting kind of reminded me a little bit of Lord of the Rings, you know, where you just had the beautiful like lighting coming through the trees, and the music too just draws you in. Like, everything just makes you feel like,
great.
I want to be here
Even
right
to
now.
me,
It's
it reminded me a little bit of Narnia.
Yeah,
Like
that too.
That's pretty. Yeah, that really.
And the big lions and fantasy
that's right.
creatures and so they had all kinds of cool martial arts scenes, and just the scaffolding was incredible.
Oh,
It
that was
my God.
great.
So much.
The funny ones where they're fighting actually in the cages, and just the bus was insane.
That's right. And she was hanging off the flagpole too.
Oh yeah, the scaffolding, that was scary.
Yes,
So.
the scaffolding. And she was just so funny. Her valet technique, how she would valet that sports car, really came in handy with the bus. And then when they
that's
stole
true.
Razor Fist car, I mean, she was
Razor Fist. I love the names.
when
Like
she
Taser
stole the
Face.
car. I mean, she's so skilled. She's a great driver.
That they follow through with that. That's true. I didn't even connect that. You're right. Like, she is a really good driver that way. And thank goodness she trusted what the Mandarin had to say, because he's like, okay, hard left, hard right. Well,
Oh yeah, and she's such a go-getter. She like doesn't even question. She's like, all right.
That's right.
Yeah, which was good. Otherwise, you've been squashed by trees. But yeah, so I really did enjoy it. The battle at the end was awesome. I love that water dragon and how it didn't have wings, and it was kind of like a snake, and it would just fly in the air and propel itself with its muscles. Like, it was flying, but it kind of had the action the whole time, where it wasn't just like a floating body. It actually had to whip its way through like it was still swimming in the air. That was cool. And then the I keep saying emeralds, but the necklaces that they had, those were the eyes, and kind of like they already had the connection with the dragon, like that was meant to be.
Right. It was like a breadcrumb. Their mom knew, this is your way home.
And this is the technique you have to know, like him having the flashbacks of doing these certain movements to get the rings in a way. I mean, another neat thing too was even just like all the fight scenes, but with like Shang fighting his father at the end, which was really sad, all the way to the end. Like, his father pretty much, I didn't think he died there, but it was set for him to look like he died, and he was regretful, it seemed like, when he was just staring into the water. But then he heard his wife and just was so focused on that again. Once he sees his son back alive, he's already fighting again. Like, it was really sad. But that whole scene was awesome. And them fighting with the rings, and Shang like learning how to like fight with them and counteract them, and then keep 5 of them, fight with those too, like seeing all these different stages of what you could do with the rings.
Yes, and then throw them back at his father, and they return blue, and he's like, it's pretty much telling him, just like with his mom telling him, like, I can take them at any time.
Yeah, and give them back when I
So
want.
just to let you know, we can play with this all day long, but I'm an equal to you.
Yeah, and I'm doing a nice gesture by giving them back to you.
Yes.
To show you that I'm better than you, kind of thing. So yeah, I like how he did that, just like his mom.
Very gracefully. And also, he wound up not killing his dad. He didn't want to do that. And the dragon, took his life, but he didn't have to do it. He didn't have to have that, that guilt, even though he was going forward. He wanted to do it because he knew he had to save the village.
Yeah.
He was going with that, in mind, that he might have to kill his dad, but he didn't have to.
Well, that's good.
Thankfully, it wasn't him that killed him.
Yeah. It was perfectly staged that way, too. I like how it happened where once, unfortunately, when his soul was getting sucked out by that monster, he just accepted it. He didn't even fight at that point because he knew he was in the wrong. His son defeated him, and everything that he did, he started having these flashbacks. So I like how he had the rings, but he didn't just take them back to fight his son. He took them back because he needed to defend himself, I guess, against that monster, then decided not to or something. But then he gave back the rings to his son. So it was still like father giving his son what he said he was going to give him. So that kind of closed that up, which I thought was a nice way to tie it up.
That was a good way, yeah.
It was great because he released his fist, and that was always his way. Always had to have that, clench, and he always had to...
That's why I took it too with the aunt, like fighting or sparring with her nephew, where he was always fisted like this, and then she opened them up like relax and elegance.
Yes, and he learned more of his mother's way. Yes.
Yeah, that was incredible. Like that whole scene, I mean, all of it was very entertaining, but just the whole ending fight scene was pretty insane. And to have a monster that, I mean, we keep learning more and more about the Marvel Universe here, and to bring more of the fantasy into play. Like, yes, we have gods, yes, we have superpowers, but we're getting more and more information of even like all these different kinds of, not just aliens, but fantasy creatures. You even need a head, and... Although we did see some things, and this is just because it's newer too, it just popped in my mind with Loki, where they were in, what was it, the Void, and they had all these other animals, or not other, they had one kind of animal around. It was like a peacock or something with no head and had a bouncy ball on. It was like, what the freak is that? So yeah, so we do see a lot of fantasy stuff too, but now it's broadened a lot more.
It has.
Definitely.
So much so now they're on this new adventure that's going to look for the source of whatever's going on with the ring.
Yeah.
And
it's
with
a
Wong's
beacon.
help, it's some type of beacon, right? So
what does beacon mean? Because like automatically
they're
I think
honing
it's bad.
in. They want you.
Yeah,
for
something. It's a
something.
red flag.
Is it
Something
good or is
bad.
it
Looking
bad?
at it. It's the Ultron from What If. Oh no. But I'm curious on what that means. I'm sure we'll find out in a movie soon. But another thing I want to mention too, that we're watching a lot of Marvel shows. Like we're caught up with almost everything. We're watching. It's kind of a different universe, I guess, because it's not part of the MCU. But Luke Cage, Daredevil, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, and this did make me think of Iron Fist a lot. And we do enjoy Iron Fist, but I can't even compare this. Like, this is a lot better. And I see this kind of being the upgrade from Iron Fist.
Yes, because the mom was the protector of the realm, kind of her village. And now that she's gone, it's the same thing, like Iron Fist. He was supposed to be the protector.
He was supposed to be the protector, and he was a great martial... I mean, he is. He's not dead, but, he's a great martial artist, and he would kind of do those evade-type motions, just like they did in this village, and he had a key power to help protect, and it was in his fist, and, just to kind of basically compare, but, but having the rings on, and he was still skilled without them, but had this extra power to really help out. He had to fight a dragon, right?
Right, a lot of parallels.
He had to learn to balance himself. Like, he had a lot of inner demons, too, and had to work through that.
Very true. He did. He had a lot of demons.
And to know that Shang-Chi, here you have this fun-loving guy in the beginning, and then we find out more about his past and who he really is, and he was an assassin. He actually did go through killing people or killing that guy for revenge.
That's right. And he finally, told Kitty the truth. And I love their relationship. I love that it wasn't like... Are they in love with, are they secretly in love with each other? They're just true friends right from the beginning. You can just tell that they're friends.
And you don't always have to have to make out or something to be like, oh my God, I do love that too, but that was perfect.
I liked it this way.
I did too.
And it's just so natural too.
Yes.
Because they've been friends for so long.
Oh yeah.
Katie, she was great.
Katie was a riot, especially when he told her about, like his real, like who he was in the beginning, and he's like, I gotta go, and she's like, well, come on, you gotta go on the plane, come on.
You know what's funny too, because like
I'm going with you, like
again,
no hesitation.
She would make us laugh when moments were intense and all that, or we'd have these funny cuts to help us kind of like break out of that a little bit, just to have a moment of relief, But she was great, and I was thinking that her character was for a lot of us where we can relate more with her, because here you have all these different people, and even though, Shang-Chi was from, he wasn't from America, and here, like, Katie is from America, like, Mom, you're American too, like, she's making fun of Americans, and yet, like, everyone has these very different, beautiful names, and then she's like, hey, I'm Katie, so it's like us kind of relating to that, so that was fun too, so you'd be like, yeah, that would be me. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed her character a lot. And Shang-Chi, I think he's very awesome. I think I really do enjoy his backstory and who he is as a person. And I think his sister's going to be some kind of villain type person. Hopefully not a true villain, but her own middle ground character who has her own goals.
I think she's going to have, she's going to be her own,
we'll find out.
Yeah, she's going to be the queen of something.
Mm-hmm. I love seeing Bruce Banner and Captain Marvel.
Oh, that's right.
Brucey. What happened to his arm?
I was thinking that too for a moment because
what happened
because first of all, he's Hulk, right?
Yeah.
And you can't hurt Hulk.
That's right.
You can't hurt Hulk. So how did he hurt his arm? And then I went back and I was thinking like, Endgame, didn't he? Because like he had to use the gauntlet and it damaged his arm or something. So I think that was that part. So I'm assuming this took place right after Endgame. They were talking about how people disappear and so
after the blip, you saw those posters. At one point, you saw posters like how to cope with after the blip or something.
Oh yeah. I mean, we laugh now, but it's like, oh God, would they go for that long? So the rings, Wong was saying, there's no knowledge about them. Like no one knows anything about them.
Only that they were stolen out of this not cave, but something. They were
Something like
stolen
cave,
out of
yeah.
a tomb or something like that, right?
Yeah,
Stolen.
and
So
'cause-
they're in the wrong hands because you stole them
That's
right
right.
from the
yeah.
beginning.
yeah, and they have no knowledge of them though, right? Because even Wong was saying that we researched and we can't find out
Yeah. So
anything
where's-
about
Yeah.
them, and I mean they have all knowledge of the universe, right? So it's not just Earth. So what does that even mean? Multiverse or from some other
Oh, wow,
universe? Who
or
knows?
yet maybe they are on Earth because it was just a regular like king or something that found them. So like where would he, unless he was, you know, of special means that he went from whatever universe to Earth, he found them and stole them. So I'm kind of thinking they're somewhere on Earth, but
But I mean, like, how were they created? Like,
yeah,
you know,
how were they
'cause-
created
Yeah,
originally
yeah.
Mhm.
for him to steal them, and how would he know about them unless he just came across them?
He might have just came across them, you know, just
After conquering
got powerful
someone's-
and maybe heard
Sure,
about
yeah.
them or something somewhere. But then if Wong hasn't, it's lost knowledge. So
Yeah,
please leave your theories below because we're curious what you have to say about that. We always learn
I
from you
love
guys
seeing
as well.
him. He was great.
Yeah.
I love seeing him.
Yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed it. The
Very
acting
good.
was perfect, and I love the costume designs. Again, I love the brilliant, the colors of the costumes and the landscapes, and just all the special effects are very fluid and beautiful, and the music tied everything together. So it was almost like I was
Yes.
watching an
Very
anime, and I hope no one gets offended by that. But you know, I know it probably resembles a lot of old kung fu movies too, but we haven't really seen much of that. So.
Right.
But it was definitely very entertaining, and
Oh, it sure was. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
very
I even love
enjoyable.
like even with his sister how talented she was
Oh,
with
goodness,
the arrow
yeah,
and the
yeah.
rope and how she can just she was
That's
a great
right.
killer too.
Yeah, she was a very, strong
skilled,
person.
all
yeah.
on her own. She had no one helping her. She just
Right,
learned
yeah.
on her own.
And she didn't just
right.
like, drown in that. Like she just stepped up and
That's right,
she was
she
very
did.
strong to do that. A lot of willpower to keep moving forward, even though she was kind of pushed aside all the time.
Thrown away.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible movie.
Yeah, right,
So
very good.
we love you guys. If you want to check out our full reactions, you can check out our links below. If you're watching on our Patreon, thank you guys so much. You financially keep us going. Giving the video a thumbs up really helps us grow so people can see us on the algorithm on YouTube. We love you guys, and we'll see you very soon as always. Bye, guys. Happy holidays.
Yes, happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.